it is. We are officially live talking sports with the 12th man.
Let's go.
Yes, sir.
Doing a little Wednesday action. We missed you guys last week because everyone had obligations and whatnot, and we were celebrating a lot of fun stuff. JQ celebrated his birthday yesterday, so we didn't know if we were going to have the show, America. We really didn't know, so I'm just excited.
I think JQ been celebrating for the last 5 days.
Yeah, that's why JQ is celebrating with some H2O right now.
Trying to clean that liver out. Huh?
Hey, listen, I need a break.
And before I get in trouble, I was cleared for this. Happy anniversary to me and Marcy, 31 years. She said I can do the show tonight, so she's letting me do that as well. So a lot of love for her. I'm making it up.
Today is your anniversary?
Today is the anniversary. You know, it's a Wednesday.
Man, happy anniversary, man. You should be doing the show tonight, man.
No,
what are we doing?
Got clearance. We got clearance. I got clearance like way before because you know that there's a payment that's going to be paid. So I got to take care of the Flatlands and all kinds of things, and birthday's right on the corner. August is my month, man. I gotta just like take a small business loan out, but we're going out to High Museum.
Birthday in August too, isn't it?
Yeah, August 18th. Yep.
Hey, my fellow Leo. Appreciate
you. Leos are all there you go. And then what is it? Man, I got a lot of Leos in my life. JQ, Mike, her brother's birthday's today, believe it or not, and then my mom's birthday is coming up too. It's like August the 19th or something. So yeah, everything is happening in August.
Oh yeah, you get murdered in August.
Yeah, man. So that's why I have to try to catch up and all that fun stuff too. Thank you, Rich.
Happy anniversary to you and Marcy.
Oh, August 30th. You know what? Duke is August 30th too, I want to say. So I got to check with Duke, man. So yeah, man, we got we got Virgos and Leos and all that fun stuff in the house too, man. So but super excited to have a show for you guys tonight. You see the crawl where everything is at. Prayers out to Gary and his mom, everything's going on with that too. So everything is good with that. He's not going to catch us on the show tonight, but thoughts or prayers are always with that situation. But gentlemen, 46 years, man, Rich. Okay.
Yeah, that's awesome, Rich.
Go, man.
Congratulations.
That's how you do it, man. Good Lord, man. We love it, man. We got to keep this going, man. So you were like we were young folks, man. But fun stuff, man. But love it. I think Marcy will pop on. But like I said, for the 15,000 million time, I got clearance. And she knows she's going to be taken care of, So, I was like, you sure? She's like, yeah, have some fun. I'm like, no, you sure? No. I'd ask like 10 times, 20 times. You sure?
Yes, you do.
So, I'm making it up. So it's all good. But a lot of love. JQ, how you feeling this evening, my guy?
I'm getting there.
Trying to clean the liver out.
Yeah, I'm getting there. No, I feel all right. It was cool. I went out with my family yesterday, ate, and we had with some friends afterwards. And I had friends here in town this past weekend for the family had a be out day at Central Park. So got to see some friends I hadn't seen in a little bit. It's been a good stretch of days, but definitely bringing it down here for the next few days. We're just gonna drink some water.
I said bring it down.
High quality
H2O here. Now we gotta bring it down.
Drink some water. I'm drinking down my FIFA cup.
How do we lose H2O, man? How do we know that it's H2O, man?
Oh, listen, I you know me. I'll tell you if it wasn't. This is water.
We can tell on the show when JQ's been drinking and when it's sober.
Yep.
No, that's a good.
We know the difference.
Yeah, you're definitely getting sober, JQ, tonight.
We always we like the hype JQ too, man. So it's
I needed a few days. He'll be back next week, but yeah.
There you go. There you go, America. The audience loves that. Loves that JQ. No, it's good, man. We're happy that you're able to jump on and celebrate with the family and friends and everything like that, and getting some birthday dinners and everything like that too, man. So that's always good to do. Rob Ford, how you feeling, my guy?
Man, doing good, man. Ready to talk some sports, man. To get this party started.
Jump right in.
Been 2 weeks.
I know we missed all that too, but like I said, Rob is always doing his little sports stuff. Yeah, there you go. Look at that.
Hey, Marseille.
Birthday twin.
I love it. Marsh, you got to tell everyone that I had clearance for the show. They don't believe me, man. I'd asked you about 100 times.
Oh, no, I'll believe it because if you didn't, you wouldn't be on here.
Yeah, there'd be something be thrown over here.
Instead of a nice message, she would be cursing you out in the message on the show.
Mm-hmm. I appreciate it. Happy early birthday.
Where is my super suit? Oh, man. let's have some fun though. A lot of love because it takes a special person to put up with all of us. I would say too, especially me. But it's all good. We're gonna have some fun. We're gonna kick right into some topics, gentlemen. Follow us on the Crawl on Twitter, X, all that fun stuff. He got clearance.
He got clearance. All right.
There you go. And YouTube. Gentlemen, this is going to be an interesting year, right? We talked about things right around the corner, but let's talk about some breakout candidates in the NFL. So, JQ, you kind of get the first crack at it, followed by Rob, and tell me who you think has, some few two breakout candidates you have right now.
Yeah, I was going to go with the running backs. Listen, that Chargers team might be really sneaky. And Mario Hampton, to me, getting Mike McDaniel. Not that I wanted in the AFC, but you saw what he did in Miami, and I think he's just one of those guys that is probably better suited just to be an offensive coordinator and not necessarily to be a head coach.
Yeah,
just let him go and tinker with the toys. The only thing about it is he's got a decent size running back room, so for fantasy purposes, it might drive you crazy. But you draft Hampton last year, and you give him a really good running back kind of guru in terms of the way he designs plays. You saw what he did in Miami. They had didn't they put like 70 points on different one week? Like
they did.
Years ago?
Yep, a couple of years ago.
Yeah, so they've got the ability when the way he draws those plays, and I think I like Hampton's talent. So not that I love it again for the AFC, but I think he's got potential to have a really good year. And I was going to do two, and I was going to do Tootin, the running back for Jacksonville. We don't have ETN there anymore. There are
Octane, that's his name. He said, "Call him Octane."
Yeah, sorry, Octane. Sorry, I meant Travis's ass. So you don't have to deal with him too much no more. And I feel like they kind of knew that Travis was going to probably leave. After this year, and then they want to have to pay him. You got to allocate your funds, especially when you got to pay Trevor Lawrence all that money at the quarterback position, right? And then have some semblance of a defense. So it's hard to then reward your running back, even though he gave Jacksonville some good years. But, it's just the way it works. And running back, to me, is probably the easily most replaced position in the NFL. So, those are just my two. But sorry, I hate it because I'm an AFC guy, with my Bengals. But, yeah, those are the two guys I look at that can have really, primed to have some really big years this year.
Yeah, I have both of those two on my list, too. So I won't elaborate on those two since you named those two already, but I have both of them on my list.
Yeah, go for it. I'm just going to do two.
Yeah, nothing else that you're thinking of from that perspective too. As far as I thought you were going to put Tyler Shook on there, Rob. I thought that was for sure on your thing, man. So I'm surprised.
Oh, I definitely got Tyler Shook on there on my list. Obviously, showed some promise there toward the end of the season. So it's a lot of momentum. So we'll see. Hopefully don't have any sophomore blues, but he's definitely on my list. And as JQ mentioned, I had those two running backs. I had a little bit more than two. I had Jihad Campbell, linebacker in Philly. I think he may have a big year too, especially with Nakobe Dean being out. He's a former first-round pick. I think Walter Nolan, defensive tackle, Arizona. I think he's going to have a big year this year, too. Another guy, the Bears traded DJ Moore, right? So I think Luther Burton third.
Yeah,
I think he's going to have a big year in that offense. And staying with the Bears, I think Colston Loveland, tight end position.
Yeah,
he's another guy I think is going to have a big year. I think Abdul Carter for the Giants.
I had him down too.
We'll finally have a breakout year. Emory Jones, LSU for the Ravens. I think at right tackle. I think he's going to have a big year for them.
Look at Jake. You got to get up. Jake, you got to get up.
Right back.
And I got to show the Bengals some love too, man. Shamar Stewart, tremendous talent. And obviously there's no more the guy. What's his name? Drawing a blank on his name. He played for the Saints. Now he's with the Ravens. The edge rusher. Help me out, JQ.
Sorry, say it again.
What's the edge rusher who just left the Bengals to go to the Ravens?
Left the Bengals.
He played for the Saints. I'm drawing a blank.
Oh, Trey Hendrickson.
Trey Hendrickson. Yeah, help me out. But yeah, I think Shamar Stewart, man, it's set up for him to have a big year. Right? He's athletic. He's super talented.
Oh, shit.
I think it's set up for him to have a big year in the second year. Josh Simmons, left tackle for the Chiefs. Jack Beck, I think quietly for the Raiders.
This guy.
You talking about a guy who's a great route runner as well. Then I got a second Saints list too, of course. Kelvin Banks, left tackle for the Saints. I think he's gonna have a big year. And then the last one, Tyler Warren of the Colts. I think you're gonna see him go to another level at the tight end position this year too.
Yeah, to answer your question, Rich, I definitely think this is a good year for running backs to come back in. Obviously we talked about Jahmyr Gibbs getting paid. We talked about obviously Bijan Robinson getting paid. So it's kind of, I think you have cycles as far as what's happening in the NFL and certain parts of sports too, man. So we'll see how that plays out. We talked about the two running backs who were top, Amari and Hampton. Obviously we talked about some good backs are going to make a huge play currently right now too. So we'll see how the NFL evolves from that perspective too. And go ahead.
But notice the running backs that are getting paid right now. They're versatile running backs. They're running backs that can run the ball, but they also can play a huge role in the passing game. Yeah. Right. And so the pound the rock kind of running backs, those guys are not the ones that are getting paid. I mean, you have to be a versatile kind of back. And that's why you saw a guy like Jeremiah Love go number 3 in the draft too, right? Yeah. So those guys can do so much in the offense now, right? So you're starting to see that versatile running back starting to play a huge role in the league.
No more Christian Okoye. No more Nigerian nightmare. I'm coming through the hole.
No, I feel bad for Jared, though. He thought he was getting out of the Bijan Robinson way. I'm going to have to go deal with Jeremiah Love. I know he was pissed.
Oh, he was cursing you out, man. He was like, "Oh, I saw that, man." America. We just had our fantasy football draft, so we're super excited about that. The draft grades are crazy, man, to me. So they're all over the map, man. So I was like,
man.
F. I was
almost every pick, man. It was, this year they give you a grade.
A grade, A+. Yeah. I was like,
almost all of my picks, I got an A, but it gave me a horrible overall draft grade.
That's crazy.
That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, no, I didn't even go look at mine. I had C's. I was like, because you know me, I'm a draft 3 running backs.
Yeah.
It gave you a great overall grade, though.
Yeah. Did they? I didn't look at it. I just assumed it was going to be terrible.
Yeah, they gave you like a B, and I think I got like a B too. So it's interesting, but it's always interesting. But they gave Irvin like an F. I was like, man,
damn, they gave me a D.
Oh yeah, I saw that too. I was like, that was rough.
We know but that almost every pick it gave me an A. Which I'm like, how you give me an A on almost every pick, and then you give me a D on the overall?
That's the AI messing up stuff already, man.
Yep.
All right, let's talk about, for our Jets fans out there, man, Jets, we spell that correctly, number one. Don't add the 2 E's in there, but I got to find that clip. Let's talk about the expectations for the Jets. Now, if you look at this, they are there's a modest prediction of a total of 5 to 7 wins, right? But you talk about what happened, Aaron Glenn, came in, try to clean out some stock roster space.
Shohei just knocked one out.
What'd you say?
Shohei Ohtani just hit a home run. I'm sorry.
Oh, you're fine. And then, so obviously they're trying to kind of rebalance. You drafted David Bailey, number 2 overall. Geno Smith gets back there. I don't know if folks are going to call him, not call him back. You drafted Cade Klubnik. We don't know about that. You're kind of trying to reset the culture here. But what can you say as far as some expectations for the Jets? Are they just kind of like be even kill, get ready for next year for the quarterback again? And I think they had a fantastic draft too. But what do you think as far as expectations for them going? We'll start with you, JQ, for the season here.
Man, that's going to be tough. And the reason why I say it, even though they did have a good draft, but if you look at that, in the division, you got one team that went to the Super Bowl. You got one that has Super Bowl aspirations and an all-world quarterback in Josh Allen. Then you start looking about it, we talk about it later, but Patrick Mahomes is going to bring Kansas City back. They're not going to get that bad again, him coming off that injury. The Baltimore, Lamar's not going to be hurt like that again. Hopefully my Bengals and Burrow, he'll stay healthy. You start counting down the teams. It's like, well, it's only 7 playoff teams available per conference. It's going to be tough for them, right? It's just because that AFC is just so freaking loaded. And you also got the Texans, and we talk about it. I really want a whole bunch of Colts, but Daniel Jones, before he got hurt, was actually playing good ball for Indianapolis as well. I don't know if he can do that again. Yeah. But so the reason why I named these other teams is that I think I put all of them in front of the Jets. So if you're the Jets, you kind of stuck in in no man's land because I don't think they're good enough to make the playoffs, but I don't think they're going to be
They're
that
They're not.
necessarily to be 1, 2, or 3 to go get a quarterback without having to use some of that draft capital to move around.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think their best case scenario this year, I think their roster's improved, but I think their best case scenario is 6-11 and third place in the division. Right?
That sounds about right.
You know, JQ talked about it already. I think the Bills and the Patriots are clearly the top 2 teams in the division. And I think both of them are going to the playoffs, and both of them have Super Bowl aspirations. I think they have a chance to be above the Dolphins in the division. But I still think their best case scenario is 6-11 and showing some incremental improvement, but not enough to get to the playoffs.
Yeah. If they can be better than the Dolphins, then Aaron Glenn go ahead and pack his office up.
Yeah.
They will struggle to qualify for a bowl game. Let's go.
Yep.
Oh man, you know
they won't even make the Idaho Potato Bowl.
Man, not even the Tax Slayer Bowl over here. We got to do the Tax Slayer Bowl for them, man. How about that, man? So, we're going to talk about this, and you kind of touch on it too. JQ is Patrick Mahomes still the NFL's best QB? I'm going to say no because, you know, obviously it's tough to come back from that torn ACL. And I'm looking at Matthew Stafford right now in the NFL, man. So, you know, right now I know it's kind of tough. That's kind I'm kind of looking up to, you know. So, you know, I know that was a rough year. You got to look at, you know, Josh Allen still trying to come back, but, you know, can he quickly regain his form is the question right now too. So, you know, again, you know, we talk about what the Chiefs did, you know, trading Trent Duffy, you know, there's a couple moves they did, you know, still trying to solidify the offensive line, you know. So there's a couple things I know we talked about earlier, Rob, as far as breakout players too, but, you know, it's going to be, we're not saying he's chopped liver by any means, but it's just kind of like, how is he going to recover right now from that torn ACL? And is he fully ready to kind of do that right now too? So he's still an elite name, obviously. And they're still, you know, we're not going to take him, you know, lightly, but you still got to prove it to us right now.
Well, you see historically when guys come off of an injury like that, it really takes them 2 years to be fully healthy. Right. You know, I think Mahomes is still the best QB in the league when healthy. I don't think he'll be the best quarterback in the league this season. And I think they'll be in third place in that division this season behind the Chargers and the Broncos, right? So I think they'll be in third place. And, you know, he just had that injury in December. And I mean, you're talking about coming back in 9 months. And that's tough. And it's hard for me to imagine him being the Patrick Mahomes from 2 years ago coming off of a torn ACL in December. It really is. So I don't think he'll be the best quarterback this season. If there's a quarterback in the league that you say, pick a quarterback to start a franchise with, it'd still be hard for me to pick anybody over Mahomes. Because when healthy, I think he still could be that guy, right? But I just don't think he'll be that guy this season.
Yeah, and when I talked about with the Jets' uphill struggles, I mean, I don't think he's going to be him again for everything you just said, but he's still good enough to where, you know, I don't think he's going to be able to make those crazy kind of off-platform throws where he's running around, you know, scrambling, throwing across his body. He really believed. I don't know if he really has the trust quite yet in that knee, and I guess we're going to find out here soon. I know he's not playing in the first preseason game, but he's still playing good enough that if he wants to make his mouth and say, hey, I'm just going to play from the pocket right now until your point, Rob, until that knee gets fully healthy, he's still good enough to do that. And as much as I hate the Chiefs and all of the calls they get on the penalties by the refs, he's still pretty good enough to play from the pocket without having to be able to, you know, do all that running around and things that made him, everybody look at him like, hey, he's the best quarterback in the league. But he's still plenty good enough, I think, to I don't know, man. I think the Broncos are still the class of that division, but that's gonna be nip and tuck with them and the Chargers.
I'm going on a limb and pick the Chargers in that division.
Ooh. You always keep picking the Chargers, don't you? Always be liking the Chargers.
No, I have not. I have not picked them. I mean, mostly I've been picking the Chiefs the last several years in that division, but I'm going on a limb, and I tell you why. That offensive line for the Chargers, they signed Tyler Biadasz at center. They're gonna have Slater and what's the guy named
Joe Alt.
Joe Alt. Yeah. They're gonna have those guys at tackle, and you talked about it with Amari and Hampton. They got better on the perimeter, and they already got a lot of elite talent on defense. Man, I think they're that offensive line alone, man, that's music to Jim Harbaugh's ears, right? So I mean, I'm going on a limb and pick the Chargers, but I agree with JQ. It's not going to be a long. It's going to be nip and tuck, right? It could go down to the last week of the season.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think also that everybody's just, and not that he's a bad quarterback, so don't get me wrong, but I think I still need to see more from Justin Herbert on a regular basis. Like he's got all the measurables, and everybody's like he should be. This guy, a lot of times, I feel like him and Trevor Lawrence, I kind of put them together. Like they did it in college, and you see glimpses of it, but I can't really just come out and put them over Patrick Mahomes. And we talked about it. Last year, I
agree with that. But like you said, we're not going to see the Mahomes. I agree with you. It's still good enough.
Yeah.
But we're not going to see the elite Patrick Mahomes this year. I highly doubt that.
Yeah, I just don't trust the Chargers.
And I don't know if I'll put Bo Nix completely over Justin Herbert either. I think they're almost on par.
He's got a better quarterback coach, than obviously we hate Sean Payton, but you got to like Sean Payton. But
you got to think about the McDaniel effect too with Herbert too.
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, like I said, so you look at that's. I agree with JQ because you got to look at the quarterback, right? We always talk about that. Herbert, we're not shitting on Herbert. We're just saying we're just not sure, because this is the opportunity for you to do that. And the way that the offense is structured, it's going to be definitely run based because you know how Harbaugh likes to run the ball. You got Mike McDaniel; he loves to run the ball. So now you got to do some play action and little things like that with Herbert. You just need him to be a game manager at this juncture, but can he do what needs to be done to kind of make those big throws? So we're still going to be kind of in this interesting situation with Herbert. So, again,
you got Blake Corum too. They got a 1-2 punch.
You've got some pieces to run the ball, run the rock. So
no, Blake Corum is in LA.
He's with the Rams, not the Chargers.
He's with the Rams.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah, you're fine. But but two things. Yeah, I agree with you, Rich. Yeah, it has to come out how the balanced playbook, and we talked about Knicks has to come back for the energy too. So there's a couple situations, but we're just saying as far as you're looking at that division, and I think that Trevor Lawrence is kind of like got a couple critics off his back, but now can do it again. And then Herbert, again, I think the way that the offense is structured, it's not like gunslinger. He's like, hey, throw the ball, make right, we're gonna run the ball, and make smart decisions. So I don't know if this is the best case for. Yeah, go ahead.
No, I see Richards commented Nix has come back from surgery too, but his injury was only like a 4 to 6 week injury, so I think he's had a lot of time to recover from that.
Yeah.
So I don't think that'll have a huge impact on the Broncos.
We're going to talk about some best and worst contracts of the offseason. And I'm going to talk about some. I've got questions for us. So I've got questions. Alex Pierce, right? Alex Pierce, for the Colts. 4 years, 144 million, 84 guaranteed. I got questions. He's making the transition.
I can't understand that one. He's on my list too.
For wide receiver 2 to wide receiver 1. You're like, I'm also going to question, I know, we're kind of a fan, but I'm going to question Malik Willis, man. That was interesting. 3 years, 67.5 million, 45 guaranteed. I mean, obviously, it's just one of the situations you hope he's going to do good, but there's enough sample size from Green Bay. I'm going to talk about your ex-Saint Rob, Alontae Taylor, getting that contract with the Titans, 3 years, 58 million, 42, guaranteed, so obviously that was an interesting situation to grab. I'm not saying it's bad. I just, you got some interesting questions as far as that too. So, everyone can talk about a couple things. The edge rusher was Adofe Oya from, he signed a 4-year, $96 million deal. So, we need somebody to come in, So we'll see how, a couple of these question, mark as far as contracts, if you will, too. So, but we talked about Baez. That's a good pickup for the Chargers, from that. That's great for them. Kenneth Walker Jr. going to the Chiefs. That was a good pickup. 3 years, $43 million. That was a good pickup. Braden Smith, tackle from Texans, 2 years, $20 million. That's a good pickup. He was struggling. CJ Stroud. I don't know if it's going to help, but those are a couple of contracts that I had down. And obviously Rick Woolen for the Eagles. That's a great pickup too. 1 year, $12 million. So he gets that.
Yeah. Gary Trent Jr. No, I'm messing with you. Go ahead, Rob.
That's I thought about that too. I thought about Gary Trent. Like, what the hell?
Trent,
why is he getting that one?
He had a lot of bad ones too.
Yeah, and then you got to talk about some minimum level deals. Like if you talk about Kyler Murray, he signs, one.
I thought that was a steal. 1 year,
same thing for
$1.3 million.
Yeah,
Kyler Murray.
Same thing for you can sign for Tua if you want to get the league minimum. So after that. So but it's just interesting as far as how that plays out as far as what everyone's going to think as far as for your team. But let's see as far as those guys.
You said a lot of the same names I had. I only had 2 guys that I thought were bad contracts: Malik Willis and Alec Pierce.
Okay.
And I know quarterbacks are going to get paid, but I still just don't know if we saw enough of Malik Willis to justify
That's what I was saying.
7.5.
Yeah.
So we'll see. I'm rooting for the brother, of course, as long as he's not playing my Saints. But I'm rooting for the brother, and would like to see him do well. But I just wonder if we saw enough. But the Alex Pierce one, I just didn't understand that one. He was a wide receiver too.
Yeah.
He got 4 years, $114 million.
They paid him like he's like a 1. You're like, what?
Yeah.
What did he do?
I thought about the Alante Taylor one too, but I didn't put him on a list because one thing about Alante, though, I actually think he was the biggest loss for the Saints this offseason. He was a playmaker on defense. He just finds his way around the football, and he forced turnovers. So I thought about that one, but I actually think the Titans got a good player right there in getting Alante Taylor. But the steals, it was same. I mean, Kyler Murray 1 year for 1.3, Reek Woolen, Kenneth Walker. I thought 3 years, $43 million. He was Super Bowl MVP. And then when you look at what some of the other running backs are getting right now, and they got him at 3 years, $43 million.
Yeah.
And then Tyler, the center from the Chargers. That's right up Jim Harbaugh's alley. So I had a lot of the same names.
Yeah, I ain't gonna beat the dead horse. We good.
Good stuff. Any updates on the Rams injuries? You want to talk through that or no?
I still think it's too early. I know they're Myles Garrett and Puka Nacua. I just think it's still too early. It doesn't seem like it's anything major right now. So they're my pick to win the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
And, I mean, when you add Myles Garrett and when you add Trent McDuffie. Yeah, and I know they're beating around the bush, but we all know that Aaron Donald's coming back too.
He saw that, right? He was like working out. I was going to say that too. I was like, "Oh, we thought he was coming back."
I think this is just ownership and coach saying we know what we have. We're not gonna mess this up in the preseason. We know what we have now. We don't need to see nothing else on this film or on this field over this next 3 or 4 weeks. Let them get ready to go, and then they'll be ready for week 1. I'm with you on that. I think this is just vet rest, and you evaluate the bottom part of that roster right now. If you're the Rams, what you got, in terms of starting the offense, defense, probably even special teams. You're talking about dudes that can we get them, sneak them through to the practice squad? You know what I mean? Or maybe they can be a gunner on the special team, but between that depth chart, I think was already pretty much set. So,
and the Rams under Sean McVay, they never play their starters in the preseason.
Yeah,
and so
freaking Raheem Morris. We saw that crap that he tried to pull over here. None of that nonsense, man. Get the heck out of here. Sorry, that was too soon.
Hey, y'all fired that dude when he was tied for first place in the division.
Man, he couldn't get it right, man.
He's another one of those dudes that's meant to be a coordinator, I think.
Same. Any pushback? So Ty Simpson, there you go, man. He'll get a chance to play a lot, apparently. What say you, man? As far as I know, there's still some blowback as far as whenever the Rams drafted him, but. What's up with that?
Well, this was their whole plan. The Rams was like, hey, we expect to be a good team. When are we going to pick number 13 in the draft again, right?
Yeah.
So they swung for the guy at 13. I mean, he's probably going to sit for 2 to 3 years, and, they'll see what they have and see if they can develop him.
Yeah.
Listen.
DJ Daniels is a good pickup, too, from Miami.
Well, I'll tell you what. If they win the Super Bowl, I can see Matthew Stafford retiring. It won't be 2 or 3 years. It'll be 1.
There you go. Yeah, so we'll see how that plays
true.
out. Yeah. So they're like, just push all the chips in the board and let us go.
Yeah, I still think that's wild. But that's it. If that's your guy, you got to go get him. But I just, we had that conversation, but I just didn't think he was good enough to go in the first round. Especially not 13.
And I don't think he was. I don't think the grade matched the pick at all.
There you go.
But I just figured that they would swing for a quarterback because they didn't think they would be picking that high again.
Yeah, try to do that.
But I don't think the player matched the grade.
That seems like the Raheem Morris thing too, man. We're not drafting this. We're going to get a quarterback, man. The remnants are all about this. All right. Here we go. This is something exciting, man, for JQ. The Vikings announced QB number 1. Man, we've been having texting each other jokes.
Listen, they even know y'all. There's been one person that's been lighting him up in this group chat. His name is Robert Ford.
JQ, Andre been finding a couple of them clips too, like they got little man videos.
Man, he was like at the couch, man. Oh, that was
Yeah,
funny,
listen,
man.
sorry, I got the glare behind me, but yeah, that's
He's like,
they
call me
were
the
lighting him
back.
up.
Call me the
But you
back.
talked about it in terms of being a steal. If you watched JJ McCarthy last year, and I don't know how many of those games that knee was bothering him, or if he was just games he just sucked. But you drafted,
Comeback kid, man.
They drafted him 9th in the first round, didn't they?
10th, yeah.
10th.
Yeah. So
10th.
when you get drafted in the top 10, and they go and get a veteran quarterback in the offseason, and they name the starter, hey, the writing is on the wall, brother. They're not picking up that fifth-year option, probably. Probably not. If you
Well,
find
it's his third year. Right?
I know.
This is his third year, right? And it's definitely got to be concerning because all offseason we said, hey, it's an open competition. It's an open competition. And for them to name the starting quarterback before the first preseason game, that has to tell you that JJ McCarthy has not been playing well in camp.
Nope.
Yeah.
And all the reports that I've read and indicated that Kyler Murray has been impressive in camp. So it was clear to them that he was the starting quarterback. But I will say this, JJ McCarthy, we have seen the evolution of quarterbacks over the last several years. There's a number of them that didn't hit their stride until year 4, year 5, year 6, year 7, right? And so is JJ McCarthy going to be one of those guys, right? And so I don't think the Vikings are ready to give up on him yet. And JJ clearly expressed that he still wants to grow and develop in Minnesota. He think he has a really good quarterback coach there in Minnesota. So we'll see what happens. Obviously, the Vikings only signed Kyler Murray to 1 year, right? So if he has a monster year, then I'm sure Minnesota is not going to make that mistake again. They let Sam Darnold go. Then he goes and wins the Super Bowl. If Kyler has a monster year and he stays healthy, right? Minnesota could use a franchise tag on him, or they can sign him to a long-term contract, and then they make the decision to trade JJ McCarthy. If Kyler is injury-prone this year and doesn't have a fantastic year, then JJ is going to be right back in the mix again next year for the job. So, we'll see what happens this year.
Listen, even outside of that, when I saw that interview with Justin Jefferson, and they was asking him about having Kyler Murray in there, he was like, yeah, we just basically was a quarterback away last year. I was just like, damn. When you star wide receiver come out and say that, and you don't really hear Justin Jefferson say a whole lot negative about anybody. And he tried to be as PC as he could, but if you watch, as much as we listen and dissect football talk, I was like, that is not a good look.
Well, you saw Justin Jefferson's numbers last year. That was the worst in his career.
Yep.
Right. His numbers were pedestrian last season, and I don't, it's because their quarterback play. Right. They were 9-8 last season.
Ooh.
Yeah.
With JQ playing quarterback.
Yeah, pretty much.
They were 9-8, and they had no quarterback. I'm picking Lions to win that division this year.
Wow.
But Minnesota, if they get some good quarterback play out of Kyler Murray, they could be in that conversation. They were 9-8. We know Brian Flores is one of the best defense coordinators in the league, and their head coach is one of the better quarterback coaches in the league.
Yep.
So, they're going to be – every team in that division had a winning record last season. They could be the same thing again this year.
Yeah, that division is definitely taken over as the hardest division in football. That division is – good luck picking that one. To your point, if they get a good quarterback play, it don't even have to be great. It just don't have to be bad. It can just be almost be average. You could make an argument for any one of those teams winning that division. That's very rare for a division.
Yep. Agreed. I think the Bears, I'm dropping them a little bit because their secondary is already banged up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Kobe Bryant's out, right? Kobe Bryant was out.
Yeah. Somebody else, too. They already banged up, and I know, Dennis Allen got by with smoke and mirrors on that defense last season. I don't know if they're going to be able to do that 2 years in a row. Right? I think this is going to be tough, even though I think Caleb may have to take a step up this year. But, Detroit's whole thing is they haven't – last 2 years, they've had so many injuries on defense, right?
Mm-hmm.
And if they can keep that side of the ball healthy, I think Detroit could be the team to beat in that division.
Yeah, stop having people get arrested and having to cut them.
That's Rob trying to suck us. You think he's gonna be man?
Yeah. Oh, that brother's going to jail. He was wild.
That was.
I was surprised that the Seahawks and the Saints are talking with him right now.
I'm not surprised.
Team would touch him.
I'm not surprised the Seahawks did it. I'm surprised the Saints, and the reason why I say that is if that dude's going to jail now. You probably going to how the justice system is. It'll probably take him this year to get through this football season if NFL lets him play before his thing gets adjudicated. To me, the Saints it's not something you can cut and you can let them grow as you guys grow to try to get better to get back into the conversation of being a playoff team. If I'm the Seahawks, I'm like, hey man, we are already the one in the Super Bowl. I can use your services for a year for this, having lost people and use it for a year, then you go, then I just have to reset it again anyway, because that's just the nature of the beast. So I wasn't super surprised to the Seahawks. I wasn't the Saints. But yeah, that brother's going to jail. Yeah, that shit he was on was wow.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. There's a movie called The Replacements. That's what I think. He's going to jail. That's the first thing.
He's going to jail.
You remember that movie? He's like,
yes, I do. No, he's going to jail. He's going to for real jail.
Oh man, that's there. So there you go. We're gonna kind of skip. I don't care about the John. We'll talk about that later. I'm gonna skip down a little bit here because I know we want to get to a couple topics here. I know we get to some college football and some baseball stuff too. I do want to talk about is Diggs going to make an impact for the Washington Commanders? He signed a 1-year deal worth up to $12 million, and I'm gonna say yeah, man, because he fills that glaring need as a proven number 2 outside of Scary Terry, and gives Jaden Daniels another elite weapon. So I like that move. As far
I
as
do too. As a number 2, as long as he's not great. Number 1, I agree.
Yeah. So I think he's a great move too. So I like that. I like that upgrade for the Commanders.
Yeah. Now I heard that they're going to be without left tackle Larry Tunsil. We'll have to see
That's
how
true,
big an impact that's going to have on the Commanders. But I do think Diggs can help them as a number 2 receiver as long as he's not the number 1 guy.
Yeah.
Right.
They'll be a double team Scary Terry as much now. It kind of gives them a little more flexibility too. So I like that move. Go ahead. I'm sorry, Rob.
No. I was pretty much done. I thought it was a 3-team race for that division, but it's hard for me to pick the Commanders without Laramie Tunsil. I think that's a huge blow. So I think it becomes a 2-team race now with the Cowboys and the Eagles.
We might have to have a welfare check on Brandon Ayuk though.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean that's where he wanted to go. He talked himself.
Yeah, I was going to bring that up too, JQ. But that dude was trying to break his back over there too, man. Trying to get over there, man. Just didn't he having problems with Jaden McDaniels, man? Even mom had to jump in. Like, man, come on, man.
Oh yeah. Listen, he was tripping hard. That's what was like. I was only halfway joking. I haven't seen no videos of him posted. I think since Diggs got signed, so they might need a welfare check on that guy.
Yeah, man, that's nuts. Let's talk about some breakout candidates, and I'm sure we'll talk about a couple of things too. And I don't know if this is just Rob's second year, just in general, what you're looking for as far as that. So
not necessarily any quarterback.
Okay, because I was thinking, I know you. I'm pretty sure you're going to put Tyler Shook in there. So you'll talk about him. I still like, I'm excited to see what Cam Ward does. Again, I know it was kind of tough what happened with getting fired. I'm curious what happens with that coaching staff as well as Caleb Williams. I'm kind of curious to see their seasons too. And like I said, I'm curious about Trevor Lawrence. I just got questions. Obviously Liam Cohen did a good job with the Jaguars. These are questions. So that's what I'm looking at as far as that too. So those are a couple guys that I'm thinking of off the top of my head.
Yeah, I mean, I already talked about Tyler Shook early, but I think Jackson Dart too is a guy to watch. I mean, I'm not going to get to. I'm not a fan, just like you are, but I'm just talking just from a football perspective.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not a fan, and I'm not going. We all know why I'm not a fan. But
yeah.
But just looking at it from a football perspective with John Harbaugh in that mix and possibly getting Malik Neighbors back, I think Dart might be in that same conversation, right? And Andre talked about it. Cam Ward too. They did everything they could to help him this year too, right? Even when I got a strong offensive coordinator. Mm-hmm. And then the other one is I'm curious about Malik Willis, right? Is he going to have a breakout year this year too, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure if he's got the weapons other than Devon Achane. So they traded Jalen Waddle. So what does he have on the perimeter? But those are the 4 for me that I'm going to be paying attention to: Dart, Shook, Ward, and Willis.
You got go ahead, JQ.
Yeah, I was going to say, just from a not necessarily, putting it arriving on the scene, but you talked about it earlier, Dre, and CJ Stroud, because he was abysmal. And he's really not been great the last season and a half, if we're being honest. I'm a Buckeye, and I don't need Houston to be good. But he's been awful. And you're getting to the point with him now with that, that option year and that big contract he's gonna want. I think he's got to put up some gaudy numbers this year in order for that to happen. Or he might be one of those ones that has to go somewhere else. Like to your point, Rob. But they need a second team or a third team before they finally hit their stride. But he's definitely one for me to watch because the Texas defense was good enough last year to go to the Super Bowl.
Championship
He played them out of that chance.
And their defense might be better this year. They even got some more reinforcements.
Right. That's what it was like. We don't talk about them enough. And you know why we don't talk about them enough? CJ Stroud, sorry ass.
Yeah. That's tough, JQ, because and I know you look at him from a different lens because you were, a Ohio State fan, right? So you're kind of, there's probably a different lens you have. And, that first season when they had Bobby Slowick as the offensive coordinator, they were doing some things. And I don't know what happened. Obviously you lost Tank Dell. You had a lot of injuries on that, on with your wide receivers. You're like, okay, maybe it's injuries. And then either the NFL figured him out like in his sophomore year. And then the next year, it was just down. Like he lost confidence something happened to CJ. So you're hoping that, like eventually I think he needs like a good, strong offensive coordinator to kind of like, hey, let's break this down. Make some smart decisions. I mean, I don't know, because like you said, that defense is too talented for them not to be, in a Super Bowl, if you will. I mean, that's a great team, man. So it's just like, damn, all you need is that one piece,
But you know what? It ain't just from the Ohio State lens. It's from an AFC
fair
kid, right? So I'm gauging who are we going to have to go through as a Bengals fan? Who do I need to worry about? Who we'll potentially see in the playoffs? And you look at that Houston team, they have everything except for consistent quarterback play. And also, you might not want to just draft the whole Iowa State wide receiver room like that. You might not want to do that either. I mean, I'm just gonna put that out there. But
Iowa State over there.
Yeah, I was like, I don't know why you would do that.
Hey man, he's got to have coach supposed to have connections or something like that. JQ, that must be got pictures or something. You can drop that's all right, man.
I mean, I was shocked that I said, but both of them.
I can't pick Houston. There's just too many question marks on the quarterback position. And you can make a case that, we talked about it earlier with the running back at Jacksonville. The Jaguars could still be right back in the mix, and again, Travis Hunter back this year too.
That's what I'm talking about, Travis. I like Travis as a breakout too, possibly. I just didn't know enough about what's happening. But yeah, keep going.
Yeah.
I thought about that.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting there, and I think Houston's definitely a playoff team, but. Yeah, are they the division winner though? I think it's going to be a dogfight between them and the Jaguars.
Yeah, but it shouldn't be really. Like Houston defense is elite.
That's crazy. We're here. I got to look at man. So is Davis Mills? Is that the guy, man? Is that a situation, man? Because I know he was kind of like they actually played well with him. I know it's kind of weird, but to say that, but. Is that a situation where CJ's kind of looking over his back, man, or what the hell, man?
Well, if David Fields got you looking over your back, then you're not that guy.
Yep.
Who's Davis
That's
Mills,
true. That's very true.
Davis
Mills did put together a nice couple of games there, but I still don't know if that's enough to justify that he's a long-term answer.
But Rob, the way that CJ played, man, it was that bad, man. So
he was trash. He was atrocious.
Yeah, it's tough to swallow. And I know his confidence. We talk about if you have confidence, that's kind of the next step too. So interesting. All right, let's get to some baseball. We'll talk about some college football too. Rob, I'll let you do your outlook on the Yankees, man. We couldn't get damn 2 games, man. Freaking Yankees from the Braves, man. But that's okay. Get Chris Sale getting boxed and some shit, man. Come on, man. It was terrible, man. So, but I digress.
Well, obviously the Yankees traded for a couple of bats, which have already seen a little bit of a difference since the trading deadline. But I think for the Yankees, they just got to get healthy. I mean, you got to get Aaron Judge in that lineup. You got to get Bellinger back in that lineup, and you got to get Juan Carlos Stanton back in that lineup. Yeah. And I think they have just as good a chance as anybody in the American League to go to the World Series because the pitching and defense has been outstanding, right? I mean, they were 26th in the league prior to the last couple of games. Now, they might have moved up a little bit. They were 26th in the league in runners in scoring position and batting average, right? Yeah. So that's atrocious, right? Now they've been playing without a lot of their bats, so they've been having to win a lot of 2-1 games, 3-2, which they've been able to win some of those games, right? And But if they can get the bats going with their pitching and defense, it's hard for me to pick against them. But, we just got to see if these guys are going to be healthy come October. That's going to be the key for the Yankees.
And the American League is light.
Yep. And it's weak.
Yes.
Absolutely. And the Red Sox just lost 4 or 5 in a row, so that's good news.
There you go.
Yeah,
Phillies are taking it. Phillies are taking it too.
Yeah.
Suck it, Phillies. Hey, I'm going to talk about this. JT talking about, man. I'm sorry. I'm in my feelings right now. We didn't get a chance to talk last week. I know we talked about a couple things, and I'm going to talk to certain fans because I believe in any instance it takes two sides to tango, right? So obviously, Screwball goes to the Dodgers. I mean, we knew that was kind of a situation, and I know Braves fans are upset because like, man, we don't doing enough. Screwball's got to want to come too, and you got to figure out there's got to be two sides, man. So you got to look at that. Scott Boras was the agent, so you're not giving up your farm system for one player. So Screwball's like, yeah, that's where I want to go. So you got to keep that in mind, and I still think that Alex Anthopoulos, he's a great GM, man. So I'm sure when he's calling, I'm sure they're like, well, why you want my guy? Okay, there's something I need to pay attention because that dude is a great. He's been hitting on all different really good trades and stuff like that too. So I think everyone's kind of like second guessing, making certain moves. So there's a lot of things that are happening. I think as far as there's something, we're not making things happen, or we didn't get this player. It takes two sides, man. So that's something we're always gonna, we're not. On those calls or we're in those rooms, but same thing with Jacob DeGrom. He's like, I'm gonna stay with the Rangers. Like, shit, all right, well,
yeah, because who wants to stay with the Rangers? Wow.
What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? My no trade clause.
I do know why, because the American League is more wide open.
But you're trying to make moves, and it takes two sides, man. Everyone was pissed that we didn't sign Tyler Algier. Maybe Tyler didn't want to be the backup. I want to go here. Now they drafted Jeremiah Love. That's just as bad. But the point is, it takes two sides. You can't be like, you don't make nothing. Both sides got to agree on this, man. Hey, do you want to come? All right. There's some filler channels, and things have to happen for both sides, not just one. I may want it, but the other side may want it.
So for the Google thing, and I was reading up on it around the trade deadline. It wasn't just that LA for this year was a preferred destination. It was the fact that he'll be a free agent this summer.
Yeah.
So if you everybody's like he wants to go there like long term. So if that, it's hard to to give up prospects for this rental. He's already told you. And this is why I talked about it a lot. I'm surprised that the MLB and NBA has not saw what the NFL has done with the franchise tag.
They're going to do that. The lockout's about to happen, bro.
We have to have that.
I think the lockout. I was convinced that the lockout was happening, and I was probably 100% convinced that it was going to happen, but I think I'm more 80% that it's going to happen. The reason why I say that is they can come back and say, well, hey, look at the Brewers. Look at the Rays, right? The Rays and the Brewers have two of the lowest payrolls in the league, and they have two of the better records in the league too, right? I think if the Dodgers three-peat, lockout is definite.
Yeah. Yep. I still think it's going to happen because I think owners want a salary cap for that, because the flip side of that is you're right. But in a year and a half, when some of those dudes start becoming arbitration eligible, and they can't afford to sign them because of the payrolls. That's I think you need a cap. I think you also need a floor. Like
you do.
As the Pirates owners, where they just getting by on revenue sharing and barely putting any money into the team. Like that's not going to help either. So it doesn't help the competitive balance. But it's just those pieces where you get held hostage by a player, especially in the NBA, but baseball too, where they just look at you like, I don't want to be here. And as soon as I get free, I'm gone. And there's nothing you can do about it. And, it's got to be some level of recourse for some of these small and mid-market teams to have a superstar and be able to build around them.
Well, you got 4 major sports in America, and the other 3 have salary caps. NFL, NBA, NHL have salary caps. Major League Baseball does not. The Dodgers got a $400-some million payroll. The Tampa Bay Rays got a $75 million payroll, right? The Kansas City Royals, I think the Marlins somewhere around $75 million as well. Man, that's a big disparity. And then on top of the $400 million payroll for the Dodgers, they got futures of over $1.1 billion.
Yeah.
1.1. Now, the Yankees and the Mets are in the $300 million range, and the Mets are terrible.
Yeah.
So they do have some. Then there's a host of teams in the $200 million range, like the Phillies, the Braves, the Red Sox, et cetera, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's just a huge disparity. And when you have the other 3 major professional leagues all have salary caps.
Yeah.
But
it's better for the league, though. We think that's the bottom line as far as, like you talked about, JQ, the Pirates and certain teams. You want to have a kind of love it, even playing field for everyone too. So
I think you have to have a certain level of wealth to be an owner. To me, get rid of some of these damn conglomerates that own it, that only thinking about making money on it. Man, this is a toy. You need to have this level of wealth to buy a team. You need to spend this much money on it every year to be an owner and be in that. But they also have to take a look at their TV revenue, because it's atrocious. Like that's why LA is able to do that. When they filed that bankruptcy thing, then they got to keep all their own money. They don't have to share any of their TV revenue with none of the other teams. That's why they can spend that money like that, because of that piece of it. If you think about
you're going to get more ad revenue in a larger market. That's
in a larger market, and you let them keep it all. Like they're just putting all that money in their pocket. So that's why they're just like, you get $1 billion, you get $1 million. Like it's wild that they allow that to happen. Their TV rights deal is very, very bad, because if you think about it, there's nothing else going on. There was nothing going on. There was about a 3-week period. There was nothing else going on, and you had to sometimes struggle to find a game on TV. Like I was like, it's Saturday, ain't nothing else going on. There should be wall-to-wall baseball on ESPN or Fox or something. And like, if you don't have the package, or get Braves Vision or whatever, and the thing, you can't watch it. I was like, I don't know how
that TV deal is weird. I mean, you got to go to FS1 at like 4:15 or something to watch the game.
It should be wall-to-wall baseball on a Saturday.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong. If you have,
I'll tell you another hidden cost for the Dodgers too.
Ahead,
man, I mean, I was in Tokyo in late June, and Tokyo has become Dodgers country, and Tokyo is one of the richest cities in the world. And one of the largest populations in the world, over 36 million people in that metro area in Tokyo, right? And there's Dodger stuff everywhere in Tokyo, right? And so that's another hidden gem.
Wow.
Wow. Rich get richer.
There you go. I lost my train of thought. Man, I was going to talk about that too. Okay, good stuff, Rob. We've beaten that dead horse, if you will. Let's talk about JQ. Do you agree with Ohio State as the preseason number 1?
Actually, I don't. And there are a lot of times I don't want to be disrespected as when they evaluate the team. But I always sometimes I want to start at number 1. Like I would like to rise to number 1 throughout the season. Walking in, especially when they walking into Texas that night as number 1 team, that's gonna be hostile. Like I'd rather be number 4. Like 4 was gonna make it anyway. So honestly, it's not the BCS era or when it was only 4 teams where you almost had to be up there, just to make sure that you got yourself a seat at the table. But it's disrespectful to Indiana, who's still bringing back a good team. Oregon's gonna have a good team. Georgia's gonna have a good team. That's like there are good teams out there. As much as Ohio State lost in this draft, I was super shocked that they put them number 1. Sorry, Texas is gonna have a good team. So I was really shocked. And I don't necessarily I don't want to start at 1. I would like to get to 1 at some point in the middle of the season and then be apexing like that, but trying to stay number 1 because you guarantee to get everybody. Not that you're not going to get anybody, but when number 1 team come to town, you're getting everybody's best shot with that when you got that number 1 next to you. I don't want to start the season that way, so I am surprised. I'm very surprised.
I think Ohio State offensively will be as good a team as any team in the country, right? I just want to see, how much they're going to be able to replace those players they lost on defense, right?
Yeah.
I forget the nose tackle they got from Alabama. I know he's been looking really good in camp so far for Ohio State. But I still would like to know. It's hard for me to put the number 1 yet. I think they're capable of being number 1 because offensively they're going to be elite with Jeremiah Smith. We'll see what Chris Henry Jr. can do as a freshman.
Yeah.
I mean, they still got Bo Jackson in the backfield.
Yeah.
When you look at Texas, they're intriguing to me. And the reason why they have potential star players at the most important positions. Arch Manning at quarterback, Cam Coleman at wide receiver, right? Trevor Gooseby at left tackle could be a top 10 or top 15 pick in the draft. And then Colin Simmons as an edge rusher could be a top 5 pick. So they have intriguing players at some of the most impactful positions. Oregon is also intriguing to me, right? Jamari Johnson, I think, is the best tight end in college football this year. On Oregon. They got Dante Moore. If he gets to what he's capable of, he can be a top 2 or 3 quarterback in the country.
Yeah.
And then defensive line wise, Oregon might have the best defensive line in the country. They got Ugunglier as an edge rusher, right? They got the big defensive tackle who bench pressing like 900 pounds. Yeah, I mean, so defensive line wise, they arguably could have the best defense. So Oregon and Texas are definitely 2 teams that are intriguing as well. And I think they're also could be worthy of being in that number 1 spot as well.
Yeah, that's what JQ said. That's JQ said.
Ohio State got to play them both.
Yeah, and you know that Texas is circling that Ohio State game too because you know how Arch Manning played just terrible in that first situation too. So Matt Patricia.
Oh, and it's gonna be it's gonna be at night. That's gonna be crazy. That's almost like that's. Sometimes I feel like they put them up number 1 to see if they'll fail.
Amari Washington, that's the big defensive tackle.
Gotcha.
Or
Indiana,
Amari Washington and the Ugunglier, they could have been first-round picks last year's draft if it came out.
Yeah, they're getting paid. It's all good. Yeah, dude, shout out. We did earlier. We talked about that. Yeah, you got the same birthday as Rich, man. So I think hopefully Rich is still watching all the fun stuff too. So appreciate you tuning in, dude. We're about to wrap this up pretty soon here. I'm going to talk about Oregon, Rob, because Dan Lanning, obviously from Georgia, so you realize that how he appreciates that big physical, defense and whatnot too. And he's trying to get a little bit of that, because what the former Pac-12 used to be too. But we'll see how that plays out, man. Because Oregon is. We agree with what's going to happen with Dante Moore. That's going to be the key. I'm sure he is thinking about what happened at Indiana, playing Indiana, excuse me. So we'll see how he rebounds and what he has in store for this year as well, man. But it's going to be a really good season, man. There's a couple of games. And Rob, speaking of that, we're going to talk about the Lakers too. NBA's got some crazy Christmas games, man. I don't know if you want to talk about that, man.
Yeah, I think Adam Silver hit a home run for opening night for the NBA and for the Christmas Day schedule. I mean, it was kind of laid up for him, but I think he hit a home run with the schedule, right? I mean, if you look at these Christmas Day games, Spurs at the Knicks repeated the finals. And then the 76ers going to the Lakers. Those are the top 2 for me on Christmas Day, right? LeBron might give Bronny a present that morning, then he might drop 40 on him.
They did it on purpose so he could be at home in LA.
He didn't take his son. He didn't take his son with him. I'm going to get some milk. What, Dad? Bye.
Yeah, no, that's yeah. Go ahead. I'm sorry, Rob. Yeah, that's late, and I think also you got to do it because you got to compete with the NFL trying to take over every holiday. So, he had to make sure that he gave himself some quality competition against the NFL on Christmas, and he absolutely did.
And I thought, last season, it was I don't know if you couldn't have predicted Mahomes or somebody being hurt, but the Christmas basketball games to me were better than the NFL games this past year. And so we'll have to see how that looks, this coming year. But the NBA games were much better than the NFL games this past Christmas.
Yeah.
We'll get to Rob's 27 top tight end prospects because I know you spent some time on that. But let's talk about JQ buying the Lakers for $12.5 million, man. Yeah, JQ, man, what's up, bro? Can I get a ticket, man?
Man, if I had $12 billion, we wouldn't be on Red Stream. We'd be on ESPN or Fox Sports doing this show for 3 hours every day.
Kudos. You're not
We're
wrong.
owning our own TV shows. Like
Absolutely.
He owns the show.
You're going to have 1 to 4 on somebody's network. Yeah, but we talked about it. That LA market is just what it is, and it's every team getting sold just about, especially in that market, is going to keep resetting the bar in terms of what the valuation of it's going to be, and what it's going to get sold for. So
Clippers.
Well, if they stop cheating, I don't know what did Pablo Torre, because he is all up their ass. That is crazy. Wow. But yeah, I'm not super surprised at the Lakers. I bet you if Boston was up to be sold again in 2 years, it would be something stupid like that. Or or the Knicks, or one of these big market teams that are story franchises that it's just with inflation and just everything going up in cost. I'm not super surprised. I was surprised they sold it that fast again, but I'm not surprised at the price tag.
Yeah, and people either love or hate LeBron James. He's a polarizing figure, but he played a huge role in that value of that franchise continue to grow up too. And like I said, I don't know how much, they're going to actually attribute that to him. But, you look at the cost, the impact of the 76ers value just went up all of a sudden. And then the impact that he's having on the 76ers, the Philadelphia economy already has been crazy. Yeah. And he's only getting like $4 million.
Right.
But the city's going to have like a $500 million impact.
Yeah. Because if I don't know if people go back and read it, when he got to Cleveland the first time, what it did to the downtown area, the loss they had when he went to Miami, and then the resurgence they had again when he came back was crazy. Wow, hundreds of millions of dollars to his point, to Rob's point. That's almost like you gotta give him credit for it, but people won't. They just go hate. But yeah, he definitely had an impact on that Lakers piece, and I'm not surprised. Philadelphia is starving in terms of the Sixers for a championship. It's real similar to how the Knicks just were. So we'll see. But yeah, I'm not surprised by that. I don't know about how he got a mural already and they defaced it, but
how did he got what?
Got a mural and already defaced it. Yeah,
and they already defaced it.
Yeah.
Like, what's wrong with us? Why won't we just be cool as people?
That's just folks nowadays. Man, I was thinking about that, Rob. It kind of took me back whenever we were talking about teams, and then JQ, you also triggered because I was thinking about the Vancouver Grizzlies, man, and the squads back in the day, man. It's like, oh man, Sharif, Big Country Reeves, man, back in the day.
Yep.
Sharif Abdul, Steve Franchise said, I do not want to go play in Vancouver.
There's a whole documentary about that, man. But Vancouver was a cool city, man. Them in Toronto, man. So I know we're talking about.
Man. I think Vancouver's the most beautiful city in North America, man.
I get to visit, man. That's one of my bucket
especially
lists,
in the summertime.
I gotta go.
Is funny. You think about that, so it's just one of those things like, oh man. So let's wrap this up as far as and I think it's interesting because the bus kids, they, I know they sold it, they're like living their best life and stuff like that too, man. But you didn't think Jerry Buss was ever gonna. He's like, keep that in my forever. I'm like, well, you had $12 billion to kind of play with, my.
Yeah, I was gonna say whatever. I think he's wherever he is watching. I fully get it.
Yep. So that's interesting from that perspective. Rob, I know you spent some time talking about this. So, and I know you mentioned it from, obviously for Oregon, some top tight end prospect for the 2027 draft. And is this just a specific reason you wanted to target this, or just in general, or kind of curious? I know because it's going to be a hell of a
top three. I only have two tight ends that I have going in the first round right now. We talked about Jamari Johnson. I think he could be somewhere in the 15 to 20 range in the draft. The second guy is Trey Green from LSU, 6'7". We'll see what he does in the Lane Kiffin offense. I have him going somewhere between 20 and 30. And there's a big drop between those two and the third guy, Terrence Carter Jr. from Texas Tech. Now, Texas Tech, man, their roster is loaded. They have one of the deepest running back rooms in the country, offensive line, defensive line. Terrence Carter Jr. at tight end. He's more of a pass-catching tight end, but I don't know who's going to throw the ball there now. Not the boy with the gambling who's going now. They may be throwing out a freshman quarterback. Roster wise, Texas Tech is loaded, but I'm almost got to pick BYU to win the Big 12 now because they got Bo Brockmeyer coming back at quarterback, and they have a pretty good roster too. I just don't know who's going to play quarterback for Texas Tech. I mean, they're not going to be able to run the ball down the throat on everybody. Maybe in the Big 12 they can.
I was going to say.
Yeah. But at some point, they're going to meet their match, and but they're going to need to have a quarterback. When we saw in the playoffs, they went against Oregon and they couldn't throw the ball. They were down they lost 20-0, 23-0 in that game.
That was bad. That was hard to watch.
Yeah. So, I mean, they have a good roster, but they have to have a quarterback, and now they don't have that with Brendan Sorsby going.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I do have him as a third tight end, but I have a third round grade on him.
Gotcha.
Hey, I just want to say this real quick as we wrap up. If you want to get paid, just go ahead and make your way to Louisville. That's how you get paid, man. If you want to transfer, because they just giving out all kinds of money, man. So if you want to just get paid, just go to Louisville, man. So
that's the KFC money, that young organization money.
Triple dubs. He got he goes. You're like, what?
I'm getting to Louisville. NCAA just changed the rule all of a sudden and allowed guys to get an extra year from the 2022 class or something. 21-22 class.
Yeah.
So Seth Trimble, man, he was working out for NBA teams.
Yeah, he was. Yeah,
But he didn't get drafted. So now he gets to go back to college and play another year.
Well,
That's crazy.
LSU pretty much got ex-NBA players, man. So we'll talk about that later, man. So,
but theirs is not approved just yet, though.
Okay.
Seth Trimble, he was just at North Carolina the last 2 years, and North Carolina filled out their roster. So after this rule change, North Carolina didn't have a spot for him.
Yeah.
So now he's going to Louisville, and Louisville might give Duke a run for their money in the ACC this year.
Well, if they don't, shit. And things have gone wrong because Louisville has loaded that roster up there for this season.
They don't hit up everybody. You get some money. You get some money. You get a check. So that's just where it goes. Well, and then like I said, we know. Shout out Marsh if you're still watching. I know Seth Curry. Yeah, we know he's gonna end his career with the Warriors, man. That's just kind of how you want to go out, man. So everything that franchise. So I didn't know if you thought that trivia question was interesting. I know you get a chance to look at it too, JQ, but DeMar Rosen is it's crazy how much he closes with points to Seth Curry. I was like, that was a crazy question, man. So
I figured for you to ask that question, it had to be DeMar DeRozan.
It had to be DeRozan. Yeah, but people forget.
But no one knows.
Lowry had some really good years together in Toronto. They just kept running into LeBron in Cleveland and in Miami. He cost them probably at least one run to the finals.
But you just didn't realize how many points he scored. What? That's crazy to think. Same draft class too. Now we talked about Seth had a little injury stuff, but
yeah, those ankles.
Man, DeMar, you're like that. He scored that many points. I was like,
oh no, he's a bucket at mid range game.
He's got mid range game.
We know about mid range, but threes are always better than twos, though. I mean, no matter how you want to, but. Yeah. He was a great mid-range person, but you didn't realize how, I thought that was just an interesting stat.
He's probably going to be signing with Miami any day now. It looks like that's where he's going.
Yeah, so I just thought that was interesting.
Listen, I don't know why.
Not like that. But it's just not something you would think of. It's not something you would think of.
Because he's not a floor stretcher. Him and Giannis and Bam going to all be
No, they still need some three-point shooters. I agree with you.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. I'm playing straight zone against Miami. You're going to get another dude that needs to occupy the same space as Giannis and Bam right there. Bam has gotten a little bit better three-point shooter. But you don't want him that far away from the bucket. You want him to be down there to be able to rebound.
I don't know how much Klay Thompson have left in the tank. I know they're torn with the idea of bringing him to Miami too.
Yeah. But I'm saying there's a lot of great mid-range. Even Rip Hamilton, he was a great mid-range guy. That dude was coming off of screens,
18-foot of Rip was automatic.
It was just but there's only so many. You don't have that game anymore because everyone wants to shoot threes. No one wants to hit mid-range, and that's why that was stat. It's man, that's we talk about. It's a great thing to have, but threes are always going to be twos, no matter how you want to break it out. So
Blake Griffin was the number one pick in that draft, and he's out of the league.
Yep, great.
With Steph and DeMar DeRozan.
You got, Hashim Thabet was in there, man, number 2, man, which is nuts.
So crazy. What a
Johnny Flynn. Johnny Flynn was in there. You're like, where's Johnny Flynn at? Brandon Jennings was in that draft class too, man. So I was looking at, I was cracking up. I was like, man, this was nuts. Whenever you're looking at that, but just
even the stats on LeBron, man. When LeBron came in the league in 2003, I think it was. They said almost every draft after him in the next 7 years, there's hardly anybody in the league from any of those drafts.
Yeah,
and he's still playing. They say he's played against players that were born in 1992, and he's played against players in the NBA that was born in 2007. I'm sorry, 1962.
No,
Kevin Willis born in 1962. He's played against players that were born in 1962 and now played against players that were born in 2007.
That's crazy.
Bam.
That's wild.
It's crazy.
Damn. We'll talk more.
Willis must be about 62 years old now.
Easily. I mean, I ran into him and Cliff Livingston. They were walking in the mall at Lenox, and I saw these two huge shadows. I'm like, what? Oh my God.
Kevin Willis had them short arms, 7 feet tall, man.
T-Rex.
What the hell happened, man? Yeah, I was like, they just walked right past. I was like, Cliff Livingston had arms to the ground, man. I was like, what?
Yeah. You never know where you'll see a Lennox.
Oh man, he had some long ass arms, man. They didn't have measurements like they have now, man. But that dude has some long arms, man.
Yeah, Kevin Willis, 63 years old.
Oh man.
Yeah, that's insane on LeBron. That's crazy.
we're gonna wrap this up. We'll talk. Just sad to hear about Maddie McDaniel. I know she had some mental issues for South Carolina. That's a huge blow for the Gamecocks.
Yeah,
and
that's the only true point guard on their roster. So
yeah,
she's got a lot of size. I mean, I still think they'll be a top 5 team, but she's just gonna have to figure out that point guard position.
It's gonna be tough. Any last things you got to talk about before we wrap this up, guys?
No, I think I hit everything I wanted to talk about.
Let's did it. All right, gentlemen. Let's get this going for setting up next week.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for tuning in. We'll get our first full weekend of preseason football this weekend, so we'll get a chance to get a glimpse at some of the young rookies this weekend. So we're looking forward to seeing that. So more to come. Obviously, we got Major League Baseball getting into the pennant stretch here. Got a great series this weekend. The Brewers at the Dodgers. Could be a preview of the National League Championship Series. So I know the Dodgers whipped them last year, 4-1, but let's see if the Brewers can make this series interesting this weekend. That's going to be interesting to me.
Yeah, man. Listen, I haven't had a chance to rant on here. I'll do it the next time because I don't know who in MLB dislikes the Cincinnati Reds as much as they do. But I would like to have a conversation with them because I don't know how you have the Reds play the Brewers and the Dodgers for 2 straight weeks. I looked at September schedule and said, wait, what? They go to LA, they go to Milwaukee, they come home and play the Dodgers and play Milwaukee. They play the Dodgers and the Brewers, I think, from like September 1st to September 14th. I said, come on. You knew they was going to be good before the season started. Why would you do us like that? And then we go to the Cubs, then we play the Braves in Atlanta. I was like, what the fuck? What kind of situation is this?
You know what, JQ, I'll give you that because
the Cubs are hot too.
The Cubs are hot. I don't understand why we play the Yankees.
CA might be MVP.
Yeah. Thanks, Rich, for shout out. I don't know why the Braves played the Yankees in New York, but then we had to fly back to play the Mets in Atlanta. We should have just went to stay right there. I don't understand that. It's like, what the hell are we doing over here?
I don't know why you get the Brewers and the Dodgers for 2 straight weeks. That is freaking insane. I don't think anybody else plays that schedule will go even 500. That's just wild. It's
a way to test yourself. Test yourself, JQ.
Listen, what they said is you broke bastards will not be making the playoffs. We're gonna make sure you don't make it because we're gonna murder you.
Said nobody.
Nobody.
Nobody. Yesterday, listen, we do not want you in the playoffs. We're gonna ensure that you don't make it by giving you this insane September. I had to go back and look that up in history. I don't know of another September for anybody. We just looked at it and said, "Damn." Really?
Thank you. Did we think the Brewers were going to be good, though? Did we think
they've been good for a couple years.
They were in the NLCS last year.
Yeah.
I actually think they're better this year than last year.
I knew the Brewers were going to be good. You know, the Cubs was going to spend money and they was going to be a wild card.
I was best with you, man. I was the best with you, man.
Yeah, listen. They said that's a pure failure in September, and I want them to know that.
Oh, man.
And Mizorowski, man, he might be one of the best pitchers in the National League this year.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man. Yeah. That's rough, man. I feel your pain, man. I wasn't talking to you. I was just like, man.
Listen, I'm not even gonna watch football. I'll be back, and I'll just be that's what I'll be on. Just take all the jerseys and t-shirts and just put them on.
They may surprise you. Man. You got to play the games, man. You play to win the games.
Listen, they're gonna get their doors blown off in September.
Well, you got to look at the playoffs. I mean, you're gonna have the Braves, you're gonna have the Brewers, you're gonna have the Dodgers.
Probably gonna
have the Cubs.
Yeah,
I mean, those are 4 right there. Then the other 2 spots, maybe the Phillies, the Diamondbacks, Padres. That they're gonna be 3 teams to fight for those last 2 spots.
We play those 4 teams over 3 weeks.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry. Well, like I said, man, we'll try to do our part, man. Maybe we'll try to like wear them down. I don't know, man.
We ain't got to worry about it. It's fine. Football will be back. I just I watch football.
Please, I watch some football.
And I think the Bengals are gonna win that division too. So I think they're gonna have a good year if they're healthy.
Hey, listen, your mouth to God's ears.
Yeah, well, if Burrow and the offense is healthy, they're gonna put up points. And I saw a stat the other day. The last 2 years, the Bengals have lost the most games in the league when the team scored over 30 points.
Yeah,
and they just need that offense to be. They just need that defense to be middle of the pack. And I think
that's all you need. Yep.
I think with Dexter Lawrence, and I think Shamar Stewart, I think he'll take a step up this season too. So their defense just got to be somewhere in that 15-16 range. I think they win that division. I think the Ravens are number 2.
Me and you both, but we'll see.
Hey, last thing, JQ. So I know you were kind of toying with the draft for tonight's draft. So I was nervous whenever Jamar Chase is right there because I was like, uh-oh. I'm glad you boys took him before I came up. I was like,
Oh, listen, if you don't know what I'm gonna do by now, you ain't paying attention. I don't care if everybody listen. I am old, and I believe in the running game. I'm gonna draft 3 running backs out the gate, and I'll figure everything else out later.
Yeah.
That was my first 3 picks too, were running backs.
Yeah, I was struggling, man. I was like, well,
did you get Chase, Dre?
No, because he went right before me. So it was Puka, or I think I chose between Christian McCaffrey. I just didn't trust. I thought Christian was like, I don't know if they're gonna overwork him, so I chose Puka, man. I know I probably should have picked, but I had him. He was hurt last year. Like, well, you had him.
You got to worry, is McCaffrey about to start slowing down?
And he's like 30 now. I'm looking at him like, I don't know, man. I don't know if that's the right direction to go, man.
And I don't know if anybody else, and we can go after this. That whole electric field thing that they talk about in San Francisco with the injuries, that's a real thing in my mind. And I just don't draft no 49ers.
Wow.
Go back and look at it. They got like an electric substation or something that's like either by the stadium or like by the practice field. And everybody's kind of like, is that why they keep getting hurt and banged up so bad, with these leg injuries over there because of that. So I have definitely read that and was like, oh, well.
Wow.
Mike Evans was sitting right there. I thought about Mike. I'm like, I'm gonna go a different direction because I thought about it, but I was like,
nope. They got an old roster when you think about it, man. With Evans and McCarthy, and I don't think Kittle is going to be healthy for the start of the year.
Yeah.
So yeah, and then what's the left tackle? Trent Williams. He got to be 40 years old. Huh?
Trent Williams. Yeah. He's gonna be like 45, man. It's all good, man. He'll yeah. All right, gentlemen.
All right,
see you next week, man. Be good, man. Peace out, guys.